Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. Your host is Charlie.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. Today, we're going to dive deep into two critical topics, but we got so many other good ones to go over tonight. But two of them are making headlines. First one is Joe Biden's climate emergency declaration, and the second one just tears me up, but Disney's alleged sexualization of children. One that I don't like whatsoever. It breaks my heart to hear a place like Walt Disney's Disney is perverted. But in recent weeks, Joe Biden has been under pressure from progressive voices to take bold action on climate change. Some are urging him to declare a national emergency to combat the climate crisis, which there is none. So let me get this fixed here first real quick. Now, whether you agree with this approach or not, it's essential to understand what such a declaration would entail. What powers does it unlock? And could it be vulnerable to legal challenges? You better believe it. We'll explore all the angles and provide you with the facts. Now let's shift some gears to Disney. Unfortunately, now this is really upsets me because I've loved Disney, my whole life. And I even have tattoos to prove it. And people that there think that, this is for your kid. No, this one's for my kid. He likes dragons and stuff like that, So it's just the entertainment giant has a long history of captivating audiences with their magical stories and beloved characters. My character is Goofy. I love Goofy. However, critics argue that Disney has also faced allegations of sexualizing children, from young female stars transitioning from adorable Disney kids to hypersexual vixens, to exposing its young actors to convicted child molesters. The company has been at the center of controversy. So we're going to dive into details, examining the evidence and discussing whether these claims hold water, which they actually do, unfortunately. So buckle up, listeners. We're about to dissect those hot button issues, providing you with well-researched insight and thought-provoking analysis. So stay tuned for a lively and informative discussion on the Conservative Viewpoint. Let's get this party started, won't we? How you guys doing tonight? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Just want to ask you guys to make sure you follow my Rumble page. Go in there, give me some thumbs up, put some comments in the comment sections. Look at my videos. I haven't made some small ones for a while, and I will put one or two out during the weekends. Since I'm doing this every night, it's kind of tough to do just by myself, trying to set everything up and trying to still make videos and stuff like that. But even share my live stream videos with your friends and family, neighbors, because this year is so important when it comes to the elections. And November 5th general election is coming up real soon. So please don't forget to follow me. And I'm going to do this right now for anybody and everybody that's in Rumble chat. I just put a link up. If you want to come on live with me and ask a question, feel free to click that link and I'll be watching for you. And you can come on, you can ask questions all you want. One question, and then we move on to the next one. I am going to do the same here in Twitter real quick, if it'll take it. It may not take it. Oops, let me go back here and try to copy that link again. Let's see if Twitter will take this. Yes, it will. So now I just put the link in Twitter also. So if you guys want to join in, you want to ask a question, just make a comment, say hello. I don't care. Please click the link. I'll be watching for somebody to come in there. We'll take one at a time. We'll take one question at a time so I can get you the answer if I can get it to you. Now, if my voice goes down, tell me, because my mic keeps self-adjusting itself, and I've done everything that they've said, and I don't know why. It keeps going down, down, down every time I talk. So I keep going over here and fixing it. So let's quit wasting time. Let's get into some of this stuff. First, we're going to just start off with the most important article of the evening. White House renews internal talks on invoking climate change, and they want a climate emergency. Well, youth activists are pushing Biden for this move ahead of the November election for an emergency proclamation that could be used to halt exports and drilling and all kind of things that goes on. This is going to give him COVID-19 like authority that he could shut everything down. And I didn't even put the headline up for you, but I got this video for you, and it's about 1 minute 33 seconds long. It's about the climate emergency and my thoughts on why he's trying to do this. So take a look at this and tell me afterwards what you guys think.
All right, moving along, President Biden is sounding the climate alarm to gain favor with youth and progressive voters. The White House renewing internal talks on declaring a climate emergency. As the Biden administration restricts millions of acres on Alaska's petroleum reserve from oil and gas drilling ahead of Earth Day, activists are pushing the commander-in-chief for answers, saying, quote, if Biden wants to win the youth vote, he needs to take forceful action on climate change. Look, there's been polling showing Trump up by 21 points with this group. Joe Biden won them by 59% in 2020. I mean, would this move the needle?
Well, you know, if you look at it through that lens, it kind of appears that they're trying to put a lot of weight on that needle to get some movement. Look at the past couple of weeks. What has happened? Just yesterday, on Friday, Biden limited new oil and gas leasing in the natural petroleum reserve, Alaska. He's talking about expanding student loan forgiveness again. He also told Bibi Netanyahu, take the win after the Iran attack. Who will these things aim to please? The younger votes, the base that is slowly slipping away from him.
Well, I mean, David, you know, why wouldn't he do some sort of climate emergency, despite the fact that there is one? There is not one. But I mean, look, Americans just kind of shut up and took it during COVID when the federal government and the state expanded their powers through public health emergencies.
This is just a scam. It's another sham by Joe Biden.
Well, it pretty much sums up his presidency.
The border is literally wide open. We're being invaded by China in the south. We can't afford to give up.
Now you heard everything there for yourself. That's exactly right. This has nothing to do with climate. This has to do with votes. You guys let me know in chat if you think it's the same thing. Do you think it's for votes? I have no doubt that that's what this is about. And they said it in the video. We know we cannot give up what we have. And with this coward Joe Biden, that's exactly what's happening. And we can't do it. That's why we have, and if he gets these authorities, we're screwed. Because that means more lockdowns come. And I think maybe it's either going to be right after the November election or it's going to be right before it. Depends on how bad the Democrats know that they're going to lose in November. Then they'll do a lockdown so people can't get to the polls and vote so he can win and they can fix the election. Let me know what you guys think in chat. See if you think the same thing. Do you think that it's going to go before or do you think it'll go afterwards? Let me know what you guys think. Now, this next thing is going to make you mad, I think. And it's a little bit. Migrants flown to Martha's Vineyards can sue plane company. And what it means from Sacramento, I have not a clue. But next, we're going to get into this and what it means. First, I want to say that this judge in this Boston that said that these illegals can sue, he's an idiot. And these illegal criminals, and yes, I'm saying illegal criminals because that's what they are. They are not here legally. And they should not have any rights under the United States Constitution because they are not United States citizens. They are criminals. But this is typical Democrat bullshit. And I'm so sick and tired of them babying and favoring these illegals over our own people, our own people that are living on the streets, families, veterans, everybody. They're giving these illegals everything, but not giving our people anything. Yeah, it pisses me off. But I've got another video for you guys. It's about 1:41. It's a little bit long, but you got to watch this. This is a ridiculous take on what's going on. So take a look at this.
Right now, migrants left at Martha's Vineyard a couple of years ago now have the right to sue the company that brought them there.
Good morning, guys. A federal judge in Boston just gave the migrants at Martha's Vineyard the right to take legal action against Verital Systems. That's the company that flew them from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard. For now, Governor DeSantis will not face legal action for his involvement in transporting dozens of migrants from Texas to Martha's Vineyard.
It is not defensible for a superpower to not have any control over the territory of its country.
In 2022, about 50 primarily Venezuelan migrants were told they were just a flight away from work and housing opportunities. For thousands of dollars per flight, partially funded by the state, the migrants got on a Verital plane in San Antonio to take them to Massachusetts. They argue the promised opportunities were not there and most people weren't expecting them at Martha's Vineyard. The court says they see no legitimate purpose for rounding up highly vulnerable individuals on false pretenses and publicly injecting them into a divisive national debate. The governor helped organize the migrant flights, but a Boston judge ruled the charter flight company would be at fault. The governor's office says all of their flights were conducted lawfully. They will remain out of this case unless the migrants' lawyers bring the state back into it. And a civil rights lawyer says that this ruling helps send the message that private companies can be held accountable for helping rogue state actors violate the rights of vulnerable people.
Now you believe this? This goes to show you that these Democrat idiots are giving more rights to these illegals than what our American citizens have. This has got to stop, and we've got to put a stop to it come November 5th. You guys let me know in chat if you guys don't like this, if it pisses you off like it does me. Let me know in chat. I'm going to leave that up there. Now we're going to take a look at all these protests going on around college campuses. First, the Biden administration is failing to protect the Jewish students. And you know, I would have never thought that I would be saying that in the United States. This goes to show you how bad Obama and Biden have brought back the hatred to this country. And yes, believe it or not, the first round of Obama, I was a Democrat and I voted for him. Believe that. Until his second term came up and I did not vote him. I stayed Democrat. I stayed Democrat up until I think right before Trump got into office. And I voted for Trump. No, I was still a Democrat when I voted for Trump because I wrote him in. Believe that? Oh yeah, I was. I was raised a Democrat, and that's the way that's what it was. That's what I knew. But we lived as conservatives. We hunted, fished, we did it all. You know, we had conservative values, and I just don't know what I was waiting for. But I did when I got screwed over by Democrats. So this is just Biden continued what Obama started during his presidency. Let's see if I can find those. Yeah, this Rabbi Minkin, the director of the Coalition of Jewish Values, cautioned against what he termed a troubling choice between Jews and anti-Semitic barbarians. And that's exactly what they're doing. And pretty much, they're not barbarians, they're terrorist sympathizers. That's all they are. They're terrorist sympathizers. And I can't stand even watching them. And I see them hitting cops and stuff in the heads. With the one guy was hitting him in with one of those 5-gallon water bottles, kept hitting him. They should have choked him out. This guy, these people do not even know what the hell they're protesting. And I didn't get that video for you guys. They were asking this one girl, what everything it meant, from river to what the hell was it called? River to sea or whatever. It's about death of Israel and all the Israelis and Jews. She didn't even know what the hell she was protesting. And that is the problem with these people. And I heard that they do give them extra credit if they go out there and they protest. You believe that shit? This is what our young are being taught in school. Now, there's a problem with that. Now, spotlighting recent developments at Columbia University, in an interview with Newsmax on Monday, Mencken emphasized the gravity of the situation, stating university administration are clearly faced with a choice right now between Jews and anti-Semitic terrorist sympathizers. I don't know why they keep saying barbarians. They're terrorist sympathizers. If they agree with Hamas on anything, they no. I think I have a video, or maybe that's tomorrow. I'm not sure. If I have that one in here, no, I do not have that one in here. But they did ask that one girl about baby's head being cut off, and they said they had no problem with that. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But as just became explicit at Columbia, and they are so far choosing the barbarians, these terrorist sympathizers, over the Jewish kids. They're telling them to stay home and do their classes online. Don't tell you you lock the terrorist sympathizers up in jail and they get kicked out of school. That's exactly what they should be doing. We have to see which way this goes. But in America, this is unbelievable. Let me move up here a little bit. Do all this. But then you have, that takes us to this article, the GOP senators calling for prosecution of the pro-terrorist campus mobs. Now, Senators Marsha Blackburn, the Republican from Tennessee, and Thomas Cotton, the Republican from Arkansas, on Tuesday released a letter from a group of Senate Republicans calling for the Biden administration to prosecute pro-Palestinian protesters at college campuses across the country. Now, do you think they're actually going to do that? Oh, hell no. This is what the Democrats live for. They live for this kind of destruction, the violence. I mean, you guys remember the Black Lives Matter Antifa little punks. Have you heard of anybody being prosecuted for any of that stuff? Billions of dollars in damage to buildings, theft, murders, rapes, assaults. Have you heard anything about that? But now we've got illegal criminals doing it. Do you see anything about that? No. This is what the Democrats, this is what they want to go to the polls with. This is what they fight for in elections. They can't run on anything else, so they cause this kind of conflict. So this is what is ridiculous. And it says, would I have a video on this? Where is it at? These people are protesting on the campus, terrorist sympathizers and siding with Hamas. Now it says I have a video, so we're going to see if this one. No, that's not it. And I cannot put another video on while we're live. So let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on 1 second here. If I have that. Okay. Let's see if it does it here in a second. And then I will get this video. Oh, I do have it. It's already in there. Wait a second. I got it. Okay. Now I wanted you to watch this. This video is about 1 minute 24 seconds, but this is going to be the kids on the college campuses and what they think about Hamas. And you're going to get a kick out of this. So watch this.
Did you guys see the news reports about them parachuting or hang gliding into that rave?
I don't know about the full detail, but I don't think they did all that, to be honest with you.
Oh, you don't think so? The baby story you were talking about, I keep asking people because that was babies whose heads were cut off by Hamas, this terrorist group. But the protest here today was celebrating Hamas.
Every single martyr must be mourned.
And that's why we're confused.
Was it really?
They're calling them martyrs.
Some people saying they're freedom fighters and other people saying they're like terrorists, kind of like ISIS.
They have been designated as a terror group by the U.S. since 1997. Do you think that matters at all, or is that kind of up for debate as well?
I think that's kind of up for debate as well.
Like Israel, they've done much worse to the people of Palestine. The one time they decide to fight back because it's their land, and they're just gonna make a big deal about that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Do you think making a big deal about rape and murder is a bad thing?
I'm not supporting those actions at all.
Okay.
But like, listen, I'm supporting them fighting back for the country. Have they gone too far? Okay, maybe they've gone too far with that stuff, obviously. But if they want to fight back for the country, there's a way to do it. Maybe they took it a bit too far.
Well, if they're celebrating the attacks, which are done by Hamas, do you think that counts as supporting Hamas?
Not necessarily. I think that they're kind of not in a way of celebrating, because obviously like their country's in like a very bad position right now. Like there's a lot of war and a lot of like destruction happening to both sides. Honestly, like I think that just peace would be great between the two.
Yeah, you believe that? Do you believe what these kids are saying? They don't have a clue. These people are supposed to be college students. They are the most ignorant idiots out there. Now, I know you guys out there have some kind of comments to say about this. So please leave them in chat, or you can leave them in the comment section. But let me know what you think about this. What you think about these idiots that are in college, that are supposed to be smart, smart people. But yet to me, they are the most dumbass people out there. And they're only doing this probably for extra credit because they're failing their damn classes. And I heard that today, and I wish I would have got it, because these professors are giving them credits and telling them extra credit if you go out there and protest this. And then one of the Jewish professors tried to get him into the school, and they forbid him to go into the school. And he's a professor at the school, but you got to let these dumbass kids run around not knowing what the hell they're doing, supporting terrorists, because Gaza is controlled by Hamas. They've been governed by them for years, and these people don't know any better than that. And tomorrow, and you got to join me tomorrow, because we've got AOC, the dumb twit that she is, telling lies about mass graves in Gaza. Oh yeah, that dumb bitch. Oh yeah, we're gonna go over that tomorrow. You got to join me for that. This is gonna be another exciting one. So, speaking of dumbass Democrats, we got a dumb Democrat here, congressman, that caused the Ukraine. He calls the Ukraine border our border. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to geography or anything like that, but I look at a map and I don't see anywhere where Ukraine borders the United States. Now, I said I'm not that good, so maybe it's just me, but if I'm missing something, you guys let me know in chat's comment section, because I don't see Ukraine when on the United States map anywhere that comes in contact with us. So you guys let me know if I'm just missing something or something, whatever. But it's only 57 seconds long, another video for you guys of this dumbass saying this stuff. So I want you to take a look at this.
Some say, well, we have to deal with our border first. The Ukrainian-Russian border is our border. It's the border between depraved autocracy and freedom-loving people seeking our democratic way of life. Do we have a stake in that outcome? Yes. Undeniably yes. Will we rise to the occasion? Will we stand shoulder to shoulder with our Ukrainian brothers and sisters who for 1,151 days have been holding off the depraved, thuggish dictator Vladimir Putin, who has respected no norms of warfare? He's targeted children in hospitals and schools. He's bombed apartment blocks, killing thousands.
Now you tell me that guy's not a dumbass. But what do you expect from a Democrat? I think they all got their hands in the pot. And when the money that they just, that 60 trillion, whatever it was that they're sending over there, I think all of them are taking a piece of the pie. And that's why they've been so hell bent to get this money to Ukraine, because they're all running out of money and they need more money. So everyone knows that Ukraine is going to lose this war. So why are we funding a war that everyone knows is a losing battle for Ukraine? Because it's a money laundering operation for Joe Biden and these Democrats. You guys let me know what you think. Why is the money's going over to Ukraine? I think it's making Zelensky a bit richer. He has to buy another boat or another house or whatever. But let me know what you guys think in chat. I'm just sick of sending money over to these people that knowing that we're going to lose, or they're going to lose this war, and it might cost us getting into a war with Russia and cause World War III. And I'm sick of that, because we shouldn't be putting our military men in danger for Joe Biden's failures around this country, around the whole world. All right, now, unfortunately, we are going to get into the part that I did not want to get into, but the one part about Disney that's near and dear to me, because, you know, I've loved it so long. I loved going to the park when I was going, and I try to go at least once a year. Now the shit's so expensive, you can't do it. And then I don't want to go because they have those drag shows there and they're trying to pedo children, and all the people that they've arrested. And we'll get into that here shortly too, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But my whole entire life, you know, I've been to that place and I've loved it. Now we have Bill Maher, or Mayor, however you want to say it. I don't even know how you exactly say it. Not no fan of him, but Bill Maher had to suck it up and say that DeSantis was right about Disney sexualizing kids. And he is no fan of DeSantis, so I know that about killed him when he did this. So I'm going to let you watch this video of him talking about Disney. So take a look and take a listen to them.
It is just scene after scene, clip after clip of the child stars of their day being subjected to obviously inappropriate, highly sexualized degradation, and quite a few pickles going through glory holes. I was grossed out. It didn't just expose a dangerous workplace, it also exposed hypocrisy. Because it must be pointed out that when the evil governor of Florida was saying the exact same thing about kids and creepy stuff at Disney that liberals now find intolerable at Nickelodeon, he was dismissed as a hick and a bigot. But why would a kids' content factory like Disney be all that different than the one at Nickelodeon? A 2014 CNN report discovered that at least 35 Disney employees had been arrested for sex crimes against children.
You believe that stuff? Now, you know, I'm no fan of him either, but he's absolutely right. It's disgusting. And on top of that, all of this, Disney hires a known registered sex offender to work on a popular Disney children's show. But back in 2003, this Brian Beck was arrested on nearly a dozen charges, including sodomy, oral compilation, forced penetration, and committing a lewd act on a child. At the time, they said no one knew about the charges, but he was working there. Charges stem from a pack allegedly molesting Nickelodeon star Drake Bell. That he was a minor at the time, so his name was not publicly released then. But now, get this. Peck pleaded no contest. If you were innocent, you wouldn't plead no contest. You would plead no, not guilty, right? You would think. But he pled no contest to 2 charges of sexual abuse of a minor, and in 2004 was sentenced to 16 months. That's it, 16 months. This dude should be hanging from his balls from a noose somewhere, and that's being generous. He is also required to register as a sex offender. Now, after all this, being released from prison, registering as a sex offender, Peck was actually hired back at Disney to work on another popular Disney Channel show, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Perhaps even more disturbing is that at least two of the people who worked on the show knew what Peck was accused of. They had even written letters defending him to the judge. You believe that crap? There is no defending a pedophile, a piece of shit, garbage. I think they should get a death penalty. Those people were Rich and Beth Corral, who worked as director and first assistant director on that show. Now they want to try to justify hiring him because he only performed voiceover work and was never on a set and then had no interaction with the cast or crew, including minors. What? Oh my God. I'm sorry, but if you are a pedophile, a known pedophile at that, you should definitely not be hired at Disney World or Disneyland, either anywhere near kids. Hell, if you're a registered sex offender, you're not even allowed near a school. You're not allowed to live near a school. So what the hell were they thinking hiring this asshole when they knew what he had done? People all over Disney knew this. So they rehired him after he got out of prison. Now, this has been in 2022. Disney's employees and a former judge among 108 arrested in human trafficking sting. This is what came from the Florida police. Now, you can't tell me that Disney kids doesn't know when they hire these people. They do background checks, or you're supposed to do a background check. And if you don't, you're idiots. And this is the reason why it's so disgusting. They are disgusting pigs. And this is why I'm so depressed over this. I'm not depressed. I'm so upset about Disney, because they went to hell. Walt Disney would be turning over in his grave knowing all this stuff is going on. So this is just dumbfounds me. But let me know what you guys think in chat. Does that change your attitude or feelings toward Disney when knowing if you take your kids there that there could be pedophiles working there? And there has been more people that have been arrested that was working at Disney for child sex trafficking, just regular sex trafficking, and human trafficking. So does that change your belief and feelings about going to Disney? I'd love to go to Disney. It used to be a place where you could just, relax and chill, and you couldn't get angry there because you kind of brought you back to your childhood. And my childhood with Disney was great. What about you? Let me know what you guys think. So next on these next couple of articles that I'm doing, they're actually from yesterday's episode, and then rubble crashed, and I didn't even know it because I only got 28 minutes out of the hour that we've got, and I'm still talking. Didn't know it crashed. I'm still talking. My picture is still up on here, and I watch a live down here where my chat's at, and I'm still talking. I'm still showing videos, and nothing's coming through. Nobody on chat, and nobody going in and out, watching and stuff. And I'm going, what the hell's going on here? Then I look up and find it, and it's done. Then all of a sudden, a black screen comes on, and Rumble's thing, and it just crashed and lost it. So I didn't get to talk about them. So we're going to do it right now. So let's move on to something a little less disgusting, and it'll only piss you off a little bit. So what's that going to be? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Right there. The Senate passes the Pfizer reauthorization after midnight deadline. A bill that should have been dead in the House, but instead it was not. So the Senate reauthorized the key U.S. surveillance law or bill after a division over whether the FBI should be restricted from using the program to search for American data, nearly forced the statute to lapse, and it should have. Now, I got a little 45-second video here for you about this, and we're going to come back and talk about this because this is not good for us. And you'll find out why after this. So take a look at this.
The U.S. Senate voted to reauthorize the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. After defeating 6 amendments to expand privacy safeguards, senators initially missed the midnight deadline to reauthorize the legislation, but then quickly voted 60-34 to pass the bill, extending it for 2 more years. Supporters had warned that even a brief lapse of the law could have detrimental impacts on the intelligence gathering process.
Allowing Pfizer to expire would have been dangerous. It's an important part of our national security toolkit and helps law enforcement stop terrorist attacks, drug trafficking, and violent extremism.
It now goes to President Biden to sign into law.
Yeah, you believe that nonsense? Now, the FBI is using this bill, which is meant to be used to surveil foreigners. But they're not only using it for that, they are using it against American citizens. And that's not the way it's supposed to be used, but they are, and they know it. The government knows it. They used that to spy on President Trump's campaign. Now, according to Dick Durbin, if the government wants to spy, he says, on his communications or the privacy communications of any American, they should be first required to get approval from the judge. And he's right. And he says, just as our founding fathers intended when writing the Constitution. Now, you idiot liberals out there better realize that you could be being spied on right this second. And we probably are, because if you're on here, you're probably a conservative and you don't like what the Biden administration and the Democrats are doing. So they're probably watching everything. And you know, when your phones, they watch it like crazy. So they say they know every place you go, because it's weird because I get a thing from Google Maps or Travelocity or something like that that tells me where I was at. And it shows me on a map where I drove and how many miles I drove on the interstate. And yeah, I don't know if you guys ever got that. I just shut off the thing where it listens to you. If you ever notice, and this is a Google Pixel 7 or something like that, I think, or some, just sitting here, not turned on or anything. I can have it locked, and a song comes on, and it'll pick it up on my phone and tell me what song it is. I did not know this. I've had cell phones, well, pretty much since they've been out, and I did not know this, and that should be worrisome to everybody. But now the FBI has this bill, and if they spy on you and you catch them, there's nothing you can do about it because they've got this bill to back them up. And that is a problem, and I have a very big problem with that. So let me know what you guys think. Do you have a problem with it, or do you have no problem with the government spying on you? Well, and you'll see. It's not going to be pretty, especially if they get their way and pass that digital dollar stuff. Boy, will they be spying in. You won't even know where your money's going. They'll find you. They'll stop you. They'll block you out and everything. So, but we're going to get into this. This was another article from yesterday. A new crisis because of Joe Biden's policy failures. A new crisis unfolds, and it's in Africa. 3 years after Biden withdrew from the Afghanistan debacle. But you know what? I'm going to let you watch this video real quick. And I think it's about 1 minute, 17 seconds long. And then we'll come back and talk about it after this. So take a look at this. Yeah. Out of water already. Now, read all that. Now, because of Biden's failures, he is letting Russia get a foothold surrounding the United States that could end up bad for us if a war would break out. Now, nearly 3 years after the heavily criticized U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, the Biden administration is facing another security crisis involving the U.S. troops. Only this time, it's there in Africa. Under the growing influence of Russia, Iran, and China, the Biden administration on Friday announced that it would withdraw more than 1,000 U.S. military personnel from Niger over the coming months in a move that is expected to disrupt regional counterterrorism operations. The decision came the same week that Russian paramilitary officials arrived in Africa, and a whistleblower report was released detailing the dire conditions facing U.S. troops. Now, our troops were put there in that country because they saw over 180 terrorist attacks, multiple terror groups that are active in Niger. Now, they include Boko Haram and at least 2 Islamic State affiliates and 1 Al Qaeda affiliate. Now, these are the worst of the worst terrorists ever. Now, we're going to let our enemies get in there also and set up shop and probably try to use our building because they have spent hundreds of billions of dollars, and I don't know, nope, I've already took it off, of dollars on this facility because they had drones built there, and they're just going to give it up because Joe Biden's a coward and thinks he's doing something good. But no, he's allowing our enemies to move in and change the whole outcome of what happened. He is doing this on purpose. He is making the United States weak. And this is why I tell you, we have to do something because he's setting up a bad chessboard for the United States. If a conflict were to break out, we're screwed because of Joe Biden and his failures. He's been a failure his whole political career. And this just is another example of it. Now we're going to get into a little subject here on January 6th. Now we're going to get into the threats and lies of the January 6th subcommittee testimonies that's set to blow January 6th committee's narrative out of the water. Now, January 6th committee, they've already been blown out of the water for so much stuff. And just from falsifying evidence, losing evidence, or throwing evidence away, saying, oh, I didn't know we were supposed to keep it. And what else? They were tampering with evidence because if you guys don't know, and you probably already do, this has been going for a while, but they've added sound to the Capitol cameras. There is no sound. They don't capture sound, only video, but they added sound. That's tampering with evidence. Why these some bitches are not in jail, I couldn't even tell you. But they added that to the footage. They were hiding evidence. They had evidence in the cloud, and they were not given the passwords or the usernames to the now January 6th committee, which is doing their investigation on them. But you don't hear nothing about this. You don't hear anything about them having them people in under hearings or subpoenaed or anything like that anymore. They kind of let this drop. And this is what these Republicans do. But they've been lying about Trump because Trump tried to get the National Guard there sooner, before January 6th, but was told no because of optics. So now I want to watch this. It's 59 seconds. This is Chief Sund from the Capitol Police then. And he's talking about how he was trying to get the National Guard to the Capitol, but was denied by Nancy Pelosi's staff. Take a look at this.
Well, I think you can look at it from a couple different aspects. One, when I went to ask for the National Guard on Sunday, January 3rd, it was her, Sergeant at Arms, Paul Irving, that denied the initial request, citing a concern for optics. I think there was a well-known concern that she had referred to federal agents and National Guard on city streets during the 2020 protests as stormtroopers. So I think that was some of his concern associated with that. And then you also got to look at the oversight structure that they had in place for the Capitol Police. One, I'm the only police chief that I'm aware of in the United States of America that has a federal law preventing me from calling in federal resources both before an event and also while I'm facing an emergency like I faced on January 6th. Those are laws put in place and voted on by Congress. And also when you think of the oversight put in place for the Capitol Police, it's political oversight that reports to political parties within Congress. No matter how you cut it, when your oversight of a police department is reporting to a political party, that's a recipe for disaster.
Now you tell me that the January 6th committee, the original ones that started all these lies and bullshit, they're not criminals. They belong in prison. But yet, nothing being done, no hearings, no one being held accountable, nothing. But it's typical for how weak this Republican Party is right now. And that's kind of deters me because they don't do anything. With Joe Biden alone, they could have impeached him, at least in the House, for the border alone. Period. I mean, they could have just said, the border, 13, 14 million illegal criminals in here right now. That alone, he violated the oath of office. And they could have nailed his ass to the wall and impeached him. But yet they didn't. We're going to hold another hearing. Let's subpoena some more paperwork. Let's get some more of the checks that China's writing out to them. But yet nothing getting done. You guys pay attention to all this. If you pay attention to the hearings and stuff, you'll know that this is what happened. Well, we got another one, but hey, let's get this subpoena. Let's subpoena this guy. And Hunter, he don't matter. He divided his congressional subpoena. We're not going to do nothing to him either. They're just going to let these criminals walk. So you see why I get so frustrated about these people is because they don't do anything. So now the last thing on my agenda for tonight, half the U.S. attorneys, and I'm going to put this up here again here, and hardly can read that one, but half the attorney generals in the U.S. has filed a legal challenge to Biden's electric vehicle mandates. Now, a coalition of 25 attorney generals have filed a legal challenge against Biden over electric vehicle mandates. Now, I'm definitely going to let you guys listen to this video. It's only 31 seconds long, I think it is. It's about the EV mandates, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it afterwards. Take a look at this.
Nebraska Attorney General Mike Hilders joins 24 other states trying to stop the Biden administration's electric vehicle mandate. The lawsuit seeks to block a new rule from the EPA that would put emission standards on passenger cars, light-duty trucks, and medium-duty vehicles. Hilders says, quote, Americans should be free to choose what car they buy, yet the Biden administration's new emission standards will force Americans looking for a new car to buy electric vehicles. Nebraska joins 25 other states in this lawsuit.
Now, the Biden administration is willing to sacrifice the American auto industry and its workers in service of a radical green agenda. Now, that's where this comes in also about the climate change. And I should have put this up with that because if Biden does call a climate emergency, he could shut every one of the gas engines or the auto workers down. And these guys are supposed to be backing him from that one idiot president of the auto workers saying that we're backing Biden. And he's trying to put them out of business. But he's going to sit there and he thinks he's talking about the whole union, but he's not, because the people, and he even said it the day he's come out and said that they're going to support Biden and said, but I will, but most of the people in our union is going to go vote for Trump. Well, they're smart. That guy's an idiot. Why the hell would you back somebody when the majority of your union members are backing Trump? They need to fire that dude, period. And the people said, we're not buying it. The demand for EV vehicles continue to fall. Even those who want to buy one can't afford it. because of the historic high inflation. Now, if you idiot liberals out there don't think inflation is going up, well, you better get the hell out of your basement because it definitely is. Or they're probably on food stamps, so they don't care because they get stuff bought for them by the government. But nearly half of the Americans in a recent Gallup poll said they would not purchase an electric vehicle. And Ford, they have lost nearly $5 billion on the electric vehicle lines last year. Now, of course, their auto company, they've got a lot of money, so it's no big deal for them. But that is a lot of money to lose. Now, because of the Biden administration and these Democrats, they are doing this on purpose. They are doing this to destroy our country on purpose. And there's no way around it because they are miserable pieces of garbage. And this is why I tell you that we have to get them out at the state, local, and federal levels come November 5th. Everybody needs to get out there, and that's why we will be covering the November 5th general election. And I think I have a couple big primaries coming up with multiple states. And I was going to cover Pennsylvania last night until Rumble crashed on me. And I lost everything and only got 28 minutes yesterday. So we will be covering it. And that's going to be a pretty much of a long night that night on November 5th. But I'm going to see here soon. I got to check my list back here and see when the next multiple state primary is because we're looking for numbers. And Pennsylvania's primary yesterday was really disappointing. Trump had more votes than Biden, but out of Pennsylvania and one county, I only saw like Trump had like 3,000 votes, and I think Biden had like 1,500 or something like that. And I think I know the one county that I live in, and there's like 45 or 50,000 people in the whole county, but that was not a very good thing. We still need the people who need to get out and vote, even though it's just a primary election and Trump has already got the nominee for the Republican Party. You still got to get out and vote. But I want you guys to please check out my Rumble page at Country Conservative. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Even if you didn't like it, please give me a thumbs up. Leave comments, questions, any kind of thing that you want in my comment section. That helps my channel grow. It helps me get out to people and get my reach out further because we're out here to give the truth. And usually Brendan Statler from the Brendan Statler Show is on, but he's in school tonight. He'll be back tomorrow, I think, and Friday. And we need you guys to help follow me and get my reach out a little further. Get some more followers on Rumble. And I'm also on YouTube, which for some reason I'm not getting any views. I think I'm being shadow banned or something because it doesn't seem to be getting anywhere on there. But I'm under Country Conservative 1776 in YouTube if you want to go out and check those out. I'm also on Twitter under Country Conservative. We're on Facebook under Charlie Brown, though. Believe it. Yes, it is. That is me on Facebook. If you want to join me on Facebook, send me a friend's request. I'll accept it. I don't care. I get enough liberals commenting on my stuff on Facebook, so I'll take anybody. So go ahead. If you look up Charlie Brown on Facebook, and you'll see Country Conservative emblem on there, I believe, as my emblem. So that would be me. I don't think it's my picture. This beautiful mug here. Yeah, see, I don't think it's at that. So please go ahead and follow me on this. And tomorrow, please join me tomorrow. I've got a few things going on. Like I said, AOC with her big mouth running. Also got, we got the judge from Trump's case going on right now, the hush money case, which is not the hush money case. It's the paperwork case. I don't know why they keep saying hush money. Hush money is not illegal. But we got that. We got his daughter and what she's doing for the Democrats. Oh, yeah, you got me right. And Joe Biden. This man, I can't give it away, but we got that. And I'm going to have so much more. I got a bunch of stuff here to go through, and I'll have to set this up in the morning. And we're getting close to the end here. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Conservative Viewpoint. So until tomorrow, I want you to keep fighting for liberty and conservative values. Because as we wrap up today's episode, remember that knowledge is power. So I want you to keep questioning, keep seeking the truth, and keep standing up for what you believe in. So that's all for today's Conservative Viewpoint. So join us tomorrow, 7 p.m., same time, same bat channel, as we dive into the more stories that matter to you. I'm hoping they matter to you. That's why I'm putting them out there. I'm getting the truth out to you. Even though these liberals say won't believe the truth if it hit them in the face, I'm getting the truth out to you. So until then, stay informed, stay conservative. Good night, everyone.